everyone. Welcome back. How's it going? Today is day 2 of my series on transformation, and I'm going to talk about a need for change. But before I talk about a need for change, let me introduce myself. Adjust my back. My name is Jolene Roberts, and I'm also known as Running Under the Sun on social media. Some of you have been following me for a while. Some of you are new to following me. So thank you for being here. Just a little bit about me. I'm a mom of 7-year-old boy-girl twins. I'm a wife to an amazing husband. I have my fur baby who's not here. He's at the groomers right now. So hope he's okay. He went in trembling, shaking. He is the baby of the family. And I love helping people. I'm a creator of a few programs. I have many more in the works, and so I am super excited today to talk to you about transformation, because yesterday I talked about transformation and having the desire to need more and crave something more. But before I get into that, let's just wait a few minutes. How are you today? Those of you who are on, say hi. Where are you from? Let me know. I'm here in Cali. It's supposed to be 80 degrees today. I know some of you up in Canada got snow this weekend. So, where are you? Who are you and where are you from? Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. Do you have any special plans this weekend? We have a swim meet tomorrow. We have soccer games on Saturday. Busy time. Mom life, right? Hashtag mom life. Who can agree? So, tell me where you're from. Are you from Canada, Australia, Mexico, US? Don't be shy. It's okay. Okay, I know some of you are on your lunch break, so I won't take up too much of your time. But, so, yesterday I talked about the desire for needing more and craving more in our lives, and how we become better and become that person that God really wants us to be. And I talked about how we end up following these people, these real inspirational people who've had these outward physical transformations, and seeing those people, we really ultimately desire a better life. And so we use those external changes and follow them and just kind of become obsessed about that. But what we really ultimately desire is a better life and to become better people. And so that's what this series is about. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, is a need for change. As I said, you're not going to get all the answers today because this would take up like all day. And I know you don't have all day. So what we know with transformation is that it really changes people's lives. And what I mean by that is the change in our lives happens when something deeper happens, and it's not just altering our behaviors, and it's more than just setting a New Year's resolution that doesn't come on January 1st, because who here sets resolutions? I, for one, do not, because you're going to fail. This is what this is about. It's not about setting a resolution. It's about that transformation. And with this idea of transformation, or this thought process of transformation and transforming ourselves as people, we get this idea of a revival and a renewal. And what that ultimately means is that we've lost some part of who we are, and we need desire, drive to bring that person back to life and revive that person. And with that revival comes renewal. And the renewal comes when our minds bring back something that once was there and is now lost. So when you have that revival and that renewal, transformation happens, and it isn't what we end up doing. It ends up what Christ has done in our lives. And if you want scripture to go back to, you can go to Ephesians 4, verse 20 to 24. I'm not going to quote scripture on this video. So with transformation, we also understand that we need to let go of the familiar. Because as we know, letting go of what we are used to is difficult. And even though we know that something in front of us is so much better, us as humans have a hard time with that change in our own lives. And to be honest, change means we do things differently. We act differently, we think differently, and we resist that. And why do we resist this change when we know it's better for us? Who resists change? Like, hands up, because I do. I resist change all the time, and it's just human nature. And this is what this series is about, and I'm so excited for it. So thank you for being here. So why do we resist this change when we know what's in front of us, staring us in the eye, is better for us? It's because we are stubborn. So we get this laser focus that on what we hope to keep, that we get stubborn and hold on to it, and we're trapped, and we don't know how to let go. So we hold on to our pride and our hobbies and the things that are binding us and make us feel comfortable, so we don't have to unclench that very thing that we're holding on to. So yeah, we're holding on to that thing in our palm of our hands, and we don't have to unclench that, so we can be free from the very thing that binds us. And it's like a 2-year-old. You know how your kid, like, when they're little, they find something and they hold on to it, and you gotta like pry their fingers open like this to grab it out? That's what we are. We hold on to those things that bind us and hold us back because we don't want to let go. We don't want to be uncomfortable. So for like a baby or a child to open up their hands and let it go, that's uncomfortable. And they're being stubborn because that's just our nature. And we need to kind of set that process to let that go. Second change that we resist. Thank you for the loves, Nina. Is that you, Nina? Is that we're comfortable. It's familiar. And why would we do something that's different when we've mastered what's already comfortable, and what we have? Nina, love you. Thank you. Hi, Richard. Long time no see. Richard from Canada. I have a bug bite right there. How's it going? So we're comfortable in this situation and what we've mastered and what we become accustomed to. And the only way to know that we're growing is to get uncomfortable and become awkward. And we don't want those feelings because it's unnatural. But in our world and God's kingdom, so our world and God's kingdom is a forward moving thing. And so as we've seen like all this technology happen, like our parents and our grandparents, it's different. It's always changing. And they've had to become uncomfortable to move forward with all this technology and change. And when you don't move forward with all this technology and change, it's going to hinder you. Like, for example, FaceTime. My parents are up in Canada. If my parents weren't comfortable, didn't get uncomfortable with social media and FaceTime, we would never see them. And so they got uncomfortable, and they're moving forward with what is happening now. And that's what we have to do. we have to move forward from what's hindering us so that we can grow. Because we see that growth in our parents. I don't know if you're in my generation or the generation behind me or before me, but I know as I get older, my kids are going to be like, thank you, Richard. He likes the spiritual motivation. It's because I'm honing in on what I believe and who I am. And I'm not afraid anymore. I'm becoming uncomfortable. So the next one, why we resist change, is because we're afraid. Hello? I'm like the face of fear right here. Like, put a box around my head, fear. This is Jolene. So this is similar to being uncomfortable because the fear of the unknown is the primary reason why we don't want to alter or change what's going on. And we don't like to be awkward. And it's not that we're, when we resist that fear, it's like we don't grow and we don't want to change and we don't want to get uncomfortable. It's just, if you are paralyzed by your fear, you're not going to have that transformation. And so you have to get over that. You just have to get over that. Fear sucks. Fear is going to hold you back from what you want most in life. And if you don't let that fear go, where are you? Back to where you started, even worse. Another reason why we resist this change is because change ultimately hurts. And it's hard to change because it becomes secure to us and it's leaving that comfort zone, and it's really a ripple effect, and that ripple effect has a price attached to it. And even if that price is leaving that comfort zone that we're so used to and accustomed to, even though what's in front of us is better, we don't do it because it hurts. So let me recap why we resist change. We're stubborn. We're comfortable. We're afraid. And it hurts. So, I might cry. This is like real, because this is something that I need. And I'm so thankful that you're here and I can do this for you, because this is going to help me grow and change and become better. And I want that. I desire that. I dream it. I am aspiring to achieve that. So let's continue. Some basic principles of transformation. So, number one, transformation starts with a new life, not necessarily a new leaf. And if you want scripture, go check out 2 Corinthians 5:17. But I'm not going to get into scripture and what it's about. Richard says it's because the system wants us to also fit in. Yes. So you're exactly right, Richard. Society wants us to fit into this mold and this, we have to be like everybody else. You have to just embrace it. This is who you are. Get over it. And, it's taught us that. And so we need to step out and we need to show the world that we can be different. We can be who we are, and we can change, and we can ultimately have that full mind transformation and become better. And society doesn't want us to become better, because that makes you, I don't know how to explain that. Richard, can you help me out here? When we become better, people are jealous, ultimately. But that's okay, because they are not ready to change and have that transformation. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so Transformation starts with a new life, not a new leaf. So basically, we got to think of this transformation as a metamorphosis. It's like us going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. You know, we create this brand new species, and it's not putting new on top of the old. It's creating a brand new life, and we desire this change because we don't have the power to change. And hold on one second. And I have my notes here, and I'm trying to like go off my notes and not be like so scripted. So like bear with me, but it was behind. Hi, Alexandra. Thanks for joining. I don't want to be so scripted. I just want to be what's going off my heart. So I'm trying to like follow some of my notes and like, you know, but I don't want to be like, hey, let me read my notes. Where are you? Okay. So that was really creepy. Anyways, we desire to change, but we don't have the power to change because we're trying to change so much that we can't be transformed. And it doesn't happen that way. So let me go over that again, because this is a complex thing. So we as people desire to change. Thank you, Nina. I'm doing great. I'm like freaking out. Why? I don't know. Yesterday was fine. Today I'm like, we desire to change, but we do not have the power to change because we're trying so hard to change so that we can be transformed. Does that make sense? Let me say it again. We desire to change, but we do not have the power to change because we're trying to change so much so that we can be transformed. Okay? I know it's like hard. To me, that was hard to like figure that out. That's how you change a new leaf. Change ultimately happens when we let go and we let God change us by giving us new life. I've been there multiple times. In fact, I'm probably going to be there again soon. And so, if we try to change ourselves, all we're going to run into is trouble. And it's like us chasing after the wind. That's right, Nina, trials and tribulations. And so, we have to give up this idea of trying to change our lives ourselves. And instead, we need to have God just grant us a new life. And a new life that we can't even imagine. It's beyond anything we've ever dreamed. And Nina is one of my top coaches, and she and I talked today before this call, and we both were in tears about just talking about life and our future and what plans are happening. And it's exciting, it's scary, it's fearful, it's change, it's uncomfortable, but it's amazing and it's exciting. Okay? And with transformation, you also have to understand that it's a process. It's not the ultimate destination. And referring back to scripture, Philippians 2:12-15. But transformation isn't something that we don't just reach. We have to keep learning and moving and growing and pushing forward because it isn't our destination for a transformation. We can have everything in front of us, but if we don't seek it out, if we don't do what's in front of us and like apply it and work at it with everything that we have and not just settle, we can reap the benefits of that transformation and see the blessings and everything that has to go with it. And transformation is not a moment in time. Transformation isn't a moment in time or an end result. Duh. That's what I was going to see. I'm crazy. It's a process that we have to continually go through in our lives. I have had transformations, okay? And I've had great transformations. I've had crappy transformations. I've had successful transformations. I'm on a transformation. Every single day is a new transformation for me. And it's a journey to become better, but not perfect. So Richard says, 2 Timothy 3:16, all scripture is inspired. Okay, I don't know if I can do this. See more. 2 Timothy 3:16, all scripture is inspired of God and beneficial for teaching, for reproving, for settling things straight, for disciplining in righteousness, that the man of God may be fully competent, completely equipped for every good work. Yes. That is awesome, Richard. Thank you. Thank you. Transformation and can only happen with God. It's not, I've been there. And it's something that somebody asked in a group. Her daughter is suffering from an eating disorder, is close to death, and this mom wants to help her. And I had to answer because I've been in that daughter's shoes. And the only way that that girl who's almost near death can change is if she wants that transformation. And I know as a mom, because my mom went through that, my dad went through that, and my husband went through that because we were dating. They want to do everything they can to help us transform, to help us go from this caterpillar who's seeking life but can't get there. And as those people, we have to become that butterfly. We have to have the desire, the need, the drive to become that butterfly and realize that this is a process. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of hard work to transform your life. This poor girl and this poor mom have so much in front of them, and it's scary. It's hard to admit. It's hard to let go. But if this poor girl who's dying can see that she needs to make that transformation, she will do it. And when I left inpatient with my eating disorder, I asked to leave early, months early probably, because let me tell you this. Before I entered, I wasn't really a Christian. I mean, I knew God existed. I didn't know God. I didn't believe. I believed, but I didn't get it. And I was dating my husband at the time. And, okay, Richard, thank you. Have a great day, Richard. Thanks for joining me and for, giving your insight. I appreciate it. So my mother-in-law now gave me this Bible. I've never had my own Bible. My mom always took me to church. When I was a teenager, didn't want to go, so I didn't. So thank you, Mom, for building that foundation. But I went in there. I was rock bottom. I was at that point where I needed to make that change. And I'll get into my next point, my last point in a second. I needed to make this change. And I knew I was going to die, as I said yesterday, if I didn't make this change. And so I was ready. It was, and ultimately is maybe the most scary, one of the more scarier things I've ever had to go through. And that I remember. So I get in there, I have this Bible, I'm near death, I'd rather die than go through the pain, physical pain that I've been through, the mental pain that I've been through. And the only thing I had was this Bible in my hand that my mother-in-law gave me. And every day at a specific time, I would open it up and would just put my finger on whatever it is. I would close my eyes, open up the Bible, and put my finger down. That's what I did. Because I didn't know. I didn't know what being Christian was. I didn't know how to read the Bible. I didn't know what I had to do. I just opened the Bible and I put my finger down and read it. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I made friends with this other girl. She's like, I'm open to doing this. If it's going to help me, fine, let's do it. So then her and I sat down every day. I'd open the Bible, close my eyes, open the Bible, put my finger down, read the scripture. It was always everything that going through. She would close her eyes, open the Bible, put her finger down. Always everything we were going through. And by the time I was ready to leave, and I'll get into that in a second, there wasn't just 2 of us, there was 10 of us at that table doing the same thing. And with praying and reading that, I woke up one day about almost 4 weeks in, and I had this weird feeling that I was going to be okay. I called my mom, said, Mom, I'm ready, come home. And she was like, are you sure? You know, you're supposed to be in there for a while. I don't know about this. I told my psychiatrist at the hospital I'm ready to leave. Told my therapist I was ready to leave. My therapist didn't believe me. And she takes me in. And this is my story. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. She takes me into her office and she shows me this wall of death. And it's all these men and women, mostly women, who have died from eating disorders. And she said, you're going to be on that wall. You are going to be on that wall and you're going to die if you leave today. I said, no, I'm not. And 16 years later, I'm here. It's been a process. I've never hit my destination. I never will hit my destination. I am still transforming into that butterfly. I'm not there yet, and I never will be. But I'm trying to achieve and strive for that butterfly in front of me. Thank you, Heather. So, with transformation, this is my last bit. When we go from a transformation, it's moving from trying to training. And I'm going to quote scripture this time because I think as somebody who's in the fitness business and those who are into health and fitness might understand this. So with 1 Corinthians 9:24-25, it says, do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Right? Only one person gets first. Run in such a way as to get the prize. So that person runs as fast, as hard as they can, and they get that prize. And they're running in such a way that they get that prize, okay? But everyone who competes in that race or those games goes into strict training. And they go into that training to get a crown that will not last at that moment, but a crown that's going to last forever. So, let me give you some scenarios with this running bit. Scenario 1. You can go out and run a marathon right now. Who can do that? Scenario number 2. Now, you could go out and run a marathon tonight if you tried, right? So we have scenario number 1, go out and run a marathon right now. Can you do it? Probably not. Scenario number 2, maybe we could go try to run a marathon. Trying is better than actually going to do it, right? Scenario number 3, if we trained for that marathon, we could do it. So we have scenario number 1, go out and run it right now. Scenario number 2, at least we tried to do it, right? Maybe we got 1 mile in, but we tried. Scenario number 3, we trained for it. You trained for it. Those of you who know what it's like to train, it's a friggin' process, right? That is what a transformation is. It's a process. And it's not about trying. It's about training. And it's gonna take time. Some it may take weeks, it may take months, it may take years, it may take a friggin' lifetime. But it's training that's gonna ultimately get us to our destination. But our destination isn't a one destination. It's a continuous. And thank you, Heather. So training is what we need to do. We need to train our minds so that we can continue forward to make this transformation happen. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for joining me. And training may mean that you have to arrange your life around the activities that enable you to do what you can't do from trying, right? I mean, who's trained for a race? It's not easy. You have to make sacrifices. You have to get up early. You have to change the way you eat. You have to train your mind to go 26.2 miles or 13.1 miles. You have to train your body to go through that. And so if we want to have this ultimate transformation, we can't try. You can't try. I can't try. We have to train because it's a process that we have to go through to get there. Okay? And if I want to be free from something that's holding us back, we got to train. We cannot try. There's no trying. Okay? You cannot try. And right now as a society, like I said yesterday, we want instant gratification. So we've lost that ability to train. And so, in other words, we have to train ourselves to do this. That's it. We have to train our minds and our bodies to do this, to have that ultimate transformation. It went way longer than I wanted to, and I apologize for that, but I thank you. Thank you for letting me doing this, for letting me do this series, and for letting me dig deep, because this is how I'm going to change. And without doing this, I can't. So thank you. And tomorrow I'll be back and we're going to talk about patience. That's a hard topic. There's a few topics I'm going to talk about, and patience is one of them. And I know when we want to see change, we want it now, and that doesn't happen. So tomorrow we're going to talk about patience. And thank you. Thank you very much.